Okay, in this video, we're going to solve this linear system, so this pair of linear equations, equation of two lines. We're going to solve this using the substitution method, then we'll solve the same system using the elimination method, and then I'll show you how to use a graphing calculator to get the answer. Now, a lot of times, your university will require you to give the exact answer or give the answer as fractions. You're not allowed to give it in decimal form. So let's explore how we would do that, especially when we're using the graphing calculator. All right, so let's start with the substitution method. All right. If I'm going to start with the substitution method, then you want to pick one of the equations, if you can, that it's easy to get one of the variables by itself. And so that first equation, it's really easy to isolate x. All I have to do is add 3y to both sides. So I've rewritten the first equation. Then what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to substitute this into the second equation. So wherever you see an x in the second equation, I'm going to replace it with 3y minus 3. Just remember to do that in parentheses. So 3 times 3y minus 3 plus 2y equals 6. Now I've got an equation that only has y, so I can solve it. So I need to distribute that 3, so I'll get 9y minus 9. And then I'm going to collect. 9y plus 2y is 11y. And if I add 9 to both sides, the 9 goes away here, and then that will become 15. And then the only thing I have to do to solve for y now is to just divide both sides by 11. And so the 11's cancel there, and I get y is 15/11. And what I'm going to do now is go back to this equation that I got, and I'll plug 15/11 in for y into that. And so 3 times 15/11 is 45/11. So then I have 45/11 minus 3. But if you don't have a calculator and you just want to do that, then rewrite 3 as 33/11. Make it a fraction with 11 in the bottom. You put them together, you get 45 minus 33 all over 11, or 12/11. Now, like I said, if you just wanted to do 45/11 and then minus 3, and you're told to get the answer as a fraction, then press math and then press enter, enter. And that gives you the answer too. Now, to write your answer, it's an intersection point. Points are written with the x coordinate first. So I'm going to have 12/11, comma 15/11. And that's how you would be expected to write the answer for that one. So that's using the substitution method. Let's look at the elimination method. Okay, if I'm going to use elimination, I want to add or subtract these equations to where something is canceled or eliminated. And that's not going to work as they are, so I need to change them. So I'm thinking it would really be easy to eliminate this x if I multiply everything in equation 1 by -3. So that's what I'm going to do, because you just can't change the x term. You have to change everything. So I'm going to multiply that first equation by -3. So I'll get -3x. Then when I multiply that by -3, I get plus 9y is equal to positive 9. Then I'm going to take the original second equation as it is, and I'm going to add these together. Okay. So when I add these together, this term gets eliminated. 9y plus 2y is 11y. And 9 plus 6 is 15. So now to find y, I just have to divide both sides by 11. And so I get y is 15/11. Now I take 15/11 and just plug it back into the first equation. So I'll take x minus 3 times y. But y here is 15/11. And so that's going to be x minus 45/11, and I'm doing it by hand, so is equal to -33/11. I add 45/11 on each side, and I get that. And again, if you just left that as -3 and then had 45/11 minus 3, you could do it in your calculator, which I did right here. Again, it comes out to 12/11. Now remember, if you're going to give it as the answer, as a point, the x coordinate must come first. So a lot of students, because they got this answer first, will put that as the first one, and that's not correct. You get a different point. Alright, so we have the x coordinate, comma, and the y coordinate. Okay, now suppose we're going to use a graphing calculator. If I'm going to solve this using a graphing calculator, I need to see both of these lines in my calculator. Alright. To define these in your calculator, you have to rewrite them with y by itself on the left-hand side. So you have to isolate the y. So with that first equation, I subtract x from both sides. Gives me that. And then I want to get y by itself, so I'm going to divide everything in here by -3. So I'll get positive y equals positive 1, and the negative signs will cancel there, plus x over 3, or plus 1/3 times x. That's fine. So I've rewritten the first one with y, and I got to do the same for the second equation. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. And then to get y by itself, I need to divide everything by positive 2. So I'll get y equals 3 minus 3x over 2, or 3/2 times x, however you want to write it. Now, I've done that. Now I can put them into my graphing calculator. Okay, so we're going to, let me clear all this. We're going to press the y equals button. Then on the first line, I'm going to put this one in. 1 plus, and then x divided by 3. And then this one's going to be 3 minus 3x over 2. And then I'm just going to do zoom 6. I'm going to start out and see if I can see the intersection point in the standard window. I can. There it is. So now I'm going to get my graphing calculator to get that intersection point. So I'm going to press the second button and then the trace button to get the calc command. And I want the intersection point, so I'm going to scroll down to intersect and press enter. Now it says the first curve. What you want to do is move this cursor only using the left or right controls. You can't use the up or down controls. As close to the intersection point as you can. And this needs to go a little bit more to the right. There, it's right over it, I think. So I'm good with that. I'm going to press enter. Second curve, well, it's already there. Press enter again. Guess, press enter again. And it's doing its magic, and it's giving you the coordinates of the intersection point. But as you can see here, it's given the coordinates to 9 decimal places. If the instructions tell you to give your answer as a fraction, then that's what you're going to have to do. And this has cut it off, truncated it at only the amount of places that will fit on the screen. So if you just take this number and put it into your calculator and try and do math, enter, it's not going to give you the correct answer. So how do you get this? Well, what we need to do is to quit out of this screen and second, and then the mode button, and then press X, and then press enter. That gives me the full expansion for X, and then I'm going to ask my calculator to do this as a fraction. So math, enter, enter. And so my X value is equal to 12/11. Okay, how do I get the Y value? Well, the Y value is the function evaluated at the X value. And since we're looking for an intersection point, and I know that the X coordinate is that, I can use either formula, first or second. I'm just going to use the first one. So what I need to do is get into vars, then go over here to Y vars. This is a very old calculator, a TI-84 Plus, probably around 2000. Select function, so enter, and then select Y1. So I'm going to use the first formula that I stored. And then what we want is Y1, the first formula, evaluated at this number. So in parentheses, 12/11, close parentheses, and then press enter. And then I need that as a fraction. So math, enter. And so that's telling me y is equal to 15/11. And so if you're told to give your answer as in point coordinate form, my intersection point of those two lines has the coordinates 12/11, 15/11. So I got the same answer each time. And so 3 different ways to do pairs of lines. And that ends this video.